Okay. There you go. Please go ahead. We'll start.
I think there is waiting room also, no? We have to disable it. Just a second.
Okay, Yutika.
Just a second.
Take your time, no problem if you need a time.
So you can see my screen.
Very good. It's beautiful.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. And especially thanks to Crazy Runners. So I'll be just sharing my experience of one of the expeditions which I did, and we'll be doing some exercises along. So I feel the first thing which one needs to have is a dream. So APJ Abdul Kalam says that dream is that, just a second. Yes. So dream is that which you does not see while you're sleeping, but it does not let you sleep. So my first, my dream was to go for an expedition which is sponsored by Indian Mountaineering Foundation and the peak which was allotted to us was Mount Johnley. It is one of the unclimbed peaks of India till that time. So it was allotted, and 10 women from all over India were selected for it. So I was one of them. So whenever we start with any, especially sports activities, so first thing is physical preparation. So first we will start with Surya Namaskar, because I feel it will give a full body stretch, and it also connects us to the nature. So mountaineering is all about nature. So we just start with Surya Namaskar. So
Guys, what we are going to do is we have decided now parallelly along with the presentation, Yutika is going to demonstrate few exercises. So we will follow what she is telling us and we will do the same things.
Yes. Okay. So I'll just do it once. Then you all can do it 13 times. We'll start with left leg and then we'll do right leg. So we will do this the entire thing 13 times, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. Okay. So can you hear me still? Can you hear me still? Okay. So please join your hands. So bend backwards, then down. Uh, both your hands and feet should be together. Take your left feet back, stretch it backwards, then right feet back. Make a mountain-like posture. The knees, shoulders and chin on the ground. Then pull in front, then back to the mountain posture. Left leg in front, then right leg in front. Try touching your head to your knees. Then both hands back, backwards, and then back. So the first thing, I request you all to please continue. So I'll meanwhile keep sharing my experiences. The first thing, I started with my physical preparation. So I used to run for 10 kilometers.
Doing the Surya Namaskar, Yutika?
Yeah.
Keep doing the Surya Namaskar?
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah,
you
please continue.
keep counting. So 1, 2, 3, so that we also follow it. You are able to see our screens, right?
Yeah, but I think you will have to count for me because I'll be just speaking.
Okay, I'll do that. Please go ahead.
So, so I used to run for 10 kilometers daily and play football 1 hour in the morning, and then in the evening I used to go for horse riding and at least 1 or 2 hours. Then other exercises, especially pull-ups, push-ups, all those exercises. So that was my schedule for at least 1 month before I went for the expedition. Now the second preparation was emotional. So mountaineering is not just about physical, but it is also emotional. So I will share one experience which I had. So when I was on one of the peaks, and it was a very difficult peak. We were on the top and we were all very hungry, exhausted, and there was one orange in my bag. It was with very difficulty that I requested one of my friends to just open my bag, rucksack at the back, and to take out the orange. So she took the orange out of my bag, and then there was this doctor who was very senior doctor, Everester, who was standing besides me. So I just I didn't want it to, but I still just offered that orange to him, and I thought he will take one piece, two piece, half a orange maximum. So, but very sadly to me that time, he took the entire orange. So that was the only thing which I had. So such emotional situations and things come when you are in mountains and when you are with limited supplies. So we have to like be prepared emotionally of that. So we are entirely cut off from the society. We don't have things. We have limited. So first thing is getting out of our comfort zones, not only physically but emotionally also. Second thing is intellectual preparation. So this peak was known for its difficult terrain because the glacier which was there, the John Lee Glacier, it had a lot of avalanches and crevasses. So they were the two dangers of the mountain. So avalanches like snow slide, like we have landslides. So and crevasses are cracks in the glaciers. So sometimes those cracks can be hidden also, and they are fatal. So all the way along there were these avalanches and crevasses. So we have had to prepare that, keeping in mind these dangers. So are we done with Surya Namaskar? So can we?
Yes, Yutika, next exercise we can do.
Okay. So let's. So when we are talking about mountaineering, the first thing is we need strength in the legs. So because even if you're going for a trek, so first thing is your legs should be very strong, and then if you are also going for a mountaineering, that means you will be climbing maybe on rocks or snow or ice. So your hands should be strong, and also very important is our back and stomach. So because we generally we do at least 20 to 25 kgs of weight is there on each person's back. So first we'll do squats. So 20 squats we'll do. So I'll show once and then you all can just continue it for 20 times. So take your hands up here, go down, wait for some time, come back, go down. Please do this 20 times. So the second thing was technical practice. So mountains, you need skills of three types: rock climbing, snow climbing, and ice climbing. So these are my few pictures where I did practice of how I can cross crevasses and ice walls. And also mountaineering requires logistics and planning. Which route? So this was, if you can see this here, the picture, this is the route which we chose. That is the north face of the peak. And these two pictures above, we are planning for what all equipments to carry for 1 month. That is snow pitons, ice axe, and all the ration for 1 month, because we will be totally cut off for 20 days. We will be above the road head. So I think somebody has raised hand. Yes.
No problem, Yutika, we'll take that at the end. You can please continue comfortably.
Okay. So we'll do a 5-minute question answer in the end. So, and then the journey begins. So can we do the next exercise?
Yes, ready for that.
Yes. So next we'll do lunges to make our legs strong. Open your legs. So right leg in the front, left leg at the back. You go down straight, go up. Go down straight, go up. Go down straight, go up. So please do this 10 times for both legs. Okay, so this is one of our, this is the way. So we had established 2 intermediate camps, then a base camp, then an advanced base camp, then camp 1, camp 2, summit camp, and ultimately the summit. So generally we, in peaks, we only have base camp and then one camp 1 and summit camp, and then, but this was a very long journey because of the route which we had chosen. So first thing which keeps us on the path of achieving the goal is loving your dream. Love and commitment for the dream is the only thing which keeps you going, because it is going beyond your physical exertion limits. So this is like this peak here, this is our Joinley peak, and this is the picture of our advanced base camp. So so that loving and commitment gives you power to keep you going. So yes, so let's move on to the next exercise. So let's do push-ups, and so that for our arm strength. So we'll do 10 push-ups, and those who are finding it difficult, but still please try. If you find it difficult, once you're tired, then you can just rest your knees on the ground and do the rest remaining push-ups. So you can see Salil Bhaiya how he's doing the push-ups. I'll also show you once. Okay, another very important thing when you especially talk about sports activities like mountaineering is the right attitude, because um, it is a team effort and team sport. It is not an individual sport. So, so I was the most inexperienced of the team, because other members, one was from CRPF, another was from, other people were, some of them were instructors of adventure sports in government organizations, some had their own adventure companies. So out of the lot, I was the most inexperienced. So I was, in that sense, in the practical sense, although I had all the I had done all the mountaineering courses which were required. So advanced mountaineering courses required to undertake any expedition. So I will just tell about little bit about that also, so that anyone who is uh, interested in this field can pursue it. So these courses are done from 3 institutes of the government. One is Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarkashi. The second is Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute of Mountaineering and Allied Sports, Manali. And the third is Himalayan Mountaineering Institute, Darjeeling. So they are 1 month course. First you do basic, then you do advanced, then you can do further courses also. So, but they are very good courses because it is subsidized by the government. So when I did the course, it was just 4,000 rupees for 1 month, and you have best equipments, because it is they are government institutes. So very good to do, very nice experience they give. So they give training on all 3 things: rock, snow, and ice. So I was the packing in charge. So for 1 month, I had to make different kits, 25 kg kits, different kits, and each kit should be day-wise segregated. So and the things which we need before should those kits should go to the people who walk fast, and things which we need late can go to the people who walk slowly. So there is a very composite team which has some are good in planning, some are good in stamina, some are good in managing porters, because we are allowed to use porters till the base camp. So So different, so that's the teamwork. So when I was the first day, everyone was very hungry because we had a long day, and then we had to cook food. So the mistake which I did was I forgot the whistle of the pressure cooker in a bag which was taken by a person who was walking slow. So everyone was very frustrated, and they also scolded me. So that was like the first day, and I was already very nervous because I was the first one. But still, if you have that thing in mind that you know you have to do it, you tend to overcome all those things. So that is the right attitude makes a difference. So can we move on to another exercise? Okay, so I'll just show you what we have to do. It's a kind of push up and lunges mix. So just take your right leg beside your right hand, and then you have to jump, and then take the right leg back and left leg beside your left hand. Like this. Okay, then do one push up, again this, then one push up, then left leg, then one push up, then right, and so on. Okay, so yes, you can see Salil Bhaiya is doing. So it will be good if you also open your cameras so we can also see you how you are exercising, and we can just correct it if required. So please do this at least 20 times. So interdependence is also very, uh, it, I understood the role of interdependence through mountaineering, and you can understand it through sports, team sports especially. So, so there was one of the situation where one, I was selected by the deputy leader. So she was very good in planning, but not that good in physically. Uh, Although she was very good, but as compared to the other teams. So there was one of the situations where we had to climb an ice wall. So can you see, these are like, this is the entire glacier. This picture is of the glacier. So these are walls, and these are crevasses. Okay? So if we had to climb an ice wall at one of the places using our ice axe and all, and crampons. Crampons are like the nails which we wear on the shoes, below the shoes. So she was trying for a long time to climb that particular ice wall, but every time she used to make a hole there on the ice, she used to slip down. So at one of the places, I supported her with my hands, and then I let her go ahead. So that incident, I don't know about her, but it still remains with me. So that gives me extra satisfaction and happiness that I did that even when I was tired. So, and because I was also supported by her. Initially, I was like selected by her, and in the end, also after the descent, after the peak, we had climbed the peak and we were descending. There were we were four who could reach the summit. So these are some more pictures of the glacier. So we were four who could summit after the 10-member team. So when we were descending, two people were so tired that they said, okay, you all go down. We won't come. We are tired, we are sitting here. So at such situations, you are totally exhausted yourself. So because we had on the summit day, we had the dinner before 11 p.m. and the dinner was, we were 12 members, 9 members, one was not well, so that member had to go down. So other, our high altitude guides were there. So we were 12 people and we just had one ready to eat packet. So we had water, we put that one ready to eat packet, salt and chilies in that. So that was our dinner on the final day where we had to put in our all efforts. So we ate that. We started walking at 1 a.m. in the night, or you can say in the morning, 1 a.m. So because when it becomes more sunny, snow starts melting, and our feet go inside it very deep. So it takes a lot of effort and it is very difficult to walk. So we start walking in the night. So in the night, 1 a.m. we started walking. Next day morning, we reached at 11:30. We had no food. The food which we had eaten, I just told you, and the water, because there was no water, so we had to melt the snow, and we had limited fuel. So we had just half bottle of water each, and that too got frozen. That too got frozen because of low temperatures. So no water, no food, no rest. We reached the summit at 11:30. We summited, and then again back. So that is 11 hours of walk or climb, you can say, because we were on the glacier. And then back we reached at 5:30 p.m. So that is 17 hours of continuous climbing and descent. So when we were coming down, they said we won't come. So at that point of time, you cannot leave them. You are so exhausted, but that is a descent. You cannot leave them and just go. So you have to bring them back. So uh, it is all interdependence. So this is also a picture of another nation. So it is all art of giving and receiving. Now, another thing which is I felt was very important there in the mountains was there was one of the day when we were doing load ferry. We had carried our things stuff for the next campsite. We had to leave it on the higher campsite and come back. Then next day we had to again go with the things. So I was the second person. First person was very ahead. I couldn't see her, and the team behind I could not see because they were very behind. So I was all alone in for some time, and I was on the glacier. Only white everywhere, only snow, no bird, no tree, nothing. Only snow mountains. So slowly I started fear started entering me that if I step on a crevasse, I go inside the crevasse, nobody would know where I am, and they were all avalanches, sounds of avalanches and all. So immediately I remembered one of the things which Swamiji from Chinmaya Mission Noida had told me before going for the expedition. That never feel that you are alone on the mountains. Mountains are the abode of rishis and mahatmas. They will take care of you. Immediately, as soon as that thought I remembered, my fear disappeared, and I felt that I am in the lap of Mother Nature and nothing can happen to me. That kept me going. So when you feel logically you feel that you won't be able to do it, so this is what helps. So to believe what you do not see, the reward of which is you see what you believe. So that is faith. So it is definitely exerting beyond limits. So this is our the dinner that day, which I described, like the chilies and the water. So this is the night where we started walking. So, and this was like my face on after the summit day. So it was all snowburned, and we had no water. So I was very thirsty. We had no food, so I just ate snow. I just picked up some snow and ate it. So in the night when I slept, in the morning when I got up, I was not able to open my mouth because my lips got stuck because of cold burns. So the entire skin came off. So all those things are there. So it is not just physical, it is how committed you are to keep it. Yes. So another day, yes, one of the campsite was it is not predictable. We have done all the planning and all, but when we are on nature, one of the campsite we reached, there was no water because the lakes, there was no snow because it was not that high, and there was no water also because the lakes which were there, they were sulfur water lakes, so which we cannot drink because it is very um, okay, so it is not of the proper taste. So we had to collect the rainwater and all to like use it for our purposes of drinking and all. From the tents we collected the rainwater, and that's how we like. So let's So, okay, so this is the summit. So I was the first person to step on it and the youngest person. So, but the efforts were of the entire team. So we were given this India's flag to be hoisted, and the feeling at the top was not explainable. We were all very exhausted, but we were all very happy, excited, and but everyone was crying. So, and it was a feeling of group thing. So, this was the India's flag and the IMF flag which was given to us, which we hoisted there. Okay, so this is my picture. I'm sitting here. Okay, so this was our leader, Chandra Bish. She was from CRPF. Okay, so we will do some jumps now. So, okay. So squeeze yourself inside. So your elbows and arms should go between your legs like this. Okay. So just okay. So I will sit like this. So squeeze it inside. Then you have to jump. Stretch your legs ahead, and your hands should go down. So jump like this. Like this. So your legs should go in front. Your hands should go down. Like this. So please do this 10 times continuously. Don't break in between. So Salil Bhaiya, please take your elbows in between your legs. So when you're sitting, you have to squeeze yourself inside and then expand. Squeeze and then expand.
I have some problem in my ankle, so I'll take liberty of that.
But I cannot see anybody else in this.
Guys, now I'll request, please keep your cameras on. We've already done with the almost session. Now we're just left with 5 minutes. Please, can you switch on your cameras, everybody? I really request you.
So another very important lesson which is there are no failures, there are only learnings. So only four of us could reach, but still it was a successful expedition and successful for each individual. So this is like the second highest point where some of our team members were. It was just 300 meters below the final peak. So they just anchored themselves and slept there. Just imagine people who have been working hard on the mountain since 1 month and before that at their homes, and 300 meters below the final summit, they slept, anchored themselves and slept. So that was the level of exhaustion. So, but there are no failures. Nothing is, these were the learnings. So they had come, so this is the place. So they had come from below. So it is quite a long way which they had covered. So nothing is unachievable. Exerting beyond limits will show results extraordinary. So this is most important learning for me, that happiness does not depend on physical comforts. It is in achieving your dreams. So realizing the interdependence and helping gives great joy even in difficult situations, especially. So this is the last thing which I wanted to tell, that gratitude, having the feeling of having gratitude is most important, because when we go on mountains, we don't say we have conquered a mountain. It is always we take permission of the mountain before, or the spirit which is there behind the mountain before stepping on it. And because we say nature is unpredictable, if nature didn't want you to climb that, it will never allow you to climb it. So thank you, crazy runners.
Amazing, amazing. It was, guys, first of all, really thankful to you, Yutika, because in the midst of COVID-19, staying at home, we've started becoming a little low at home. So sessions like this, because we've been having sessions only on fitness, jumping, and all these things. These kind of sessions give us a lot of motivation, because it's very important. Thank you. You were so well explaining that mentally you need to be quite strong. Very beautifully said. Guys, I would like to share one thing. All the photographs which were shown in this particular presentation are real photographs and are of her expedition. Second thing, very important, the height of Mount Everest base camp is 17,600, and this particular expedition that they did was 21,800, and just some 3-4,000 less than Mount Everest. So you can imagine the height they were at, much more than the base camp. And reaching base camp is also requires so much of preparation. So this camp which Yutika would have done, I mean, at my level also, I can't imagine what kind of preparations they would have done. It's fantabulous. Thank you, Yutika. It was a lovely session. From Crazy Runners, I'll request Gaurav, because we keep on doing physical activities a lot. This kind of session was needed. And thank you so much. Gaurav, over to you. And then probably we can quickly have the QA session. I'll request you to take it up.
Thank you, Salil.
3 minutes are left.
Yutika, I have a question. You know, we have a couple of questions. One is from Rakesh Verma. He wants to understand that do all mountaineers need to take a life insurance before they go for, you know, these expeditions, or it is optional?
Okay, so when you go, so this was a government sponsored expedition. So we had insurance. Okay, it was a group insurance, but yes, definitely, if you want extra insurance, then you can definitely. But for government sponsored expeditions, yes, they have to, and they also give you money for it. Some budget is there, so within that budget, you can. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's required.
Another
Beyond-
question, you know.
a particular height, if you have to go, then you have to take permission and you need to do all these requirements, fulfill all these
Okay.
requirements.
Okay, I have another question from, you know, one of our group members, Aditi Jain. She is not here present today, but she, you know, wanted a question to be addressed. You know, what are the breathing techniques to follow at, you know, the height that you guys, you know, go at? Any particular breathing techniques to follow?
Okay, so when we are at the mountains, one advantage which we get is the air is very pure. So that is an advantage. But as you go higher and higher, the that becomes less saturated. So it is good to do breathing exercises. There is no specific breathing exercises, but deep breaths and proper relaxation. Also, so all those who have done exercises, they can also just lie down if they're tired, feeling tired, relax their calf muscles and all, and pranayam if you do, so that will suffice. And important thing is acclimatization is very important in mountains. So how do you acclimatize? You carry the weight, you go to the next campsite, you drop the things there, you come down. So you work on higher altitude and sleep on lower altitude. That is the way to acclimatize. So that will also
Right.
help you in.
Right.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Gaurav.
much, Yutika. Actually, we are short of time.
Yeah, Gaurav, one second. We have Gopalji also here. I'll please request Gopalji if you can give us some blessings.
No, I think this is a very good effort that Salilji and the Crazy Runner team is doing. And at this time, daily, I have been listening. Yutika also told me, Surajji also told me, and Salilji. So I give my good wishes to all of you, and the positive attitude which mountains bring. I have done some trekking in Himalayas. I think Himalayas give a very pleasant memory for future life, and these things like mountaineering, trekking, rock climbing, etc. These activities should be done in a young age, because in later ages you are not able to do it, but these memories will last your whole life, and it will always be pleasant, and this adventure and achievement, the feeling of achievement is a very strong motivator for life and gives lot of vision. So I think the mountaineering, all adventure activities, they also really